everyone, it's Ashwin Rao. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to a brand that I have owned on and off during my shoe and heritage boot journey. It's a brand based in the United States that, while it has appeals to the heritage bootmaking community, it's somewhat flown under the radar because it's offered at a price point that's more engaging to those who might be interested in, say, Thursday boots, or even Grant Stone, or even Allen Edmonds. And what we have as a result is a very high quality boot from US based bootmaker Parkhurst boots. In this video, I'm going to take you through the Parkhurst boot's latest offering, which is a Stitchdown construction boot based on their Allen design. The Allen is a plain toe boondicker style service boot that has DNA that's more appealing to a slightly dressed up aesthetic, and yet has that rugged build quality, nearly all leather construction, including leather heel stiffeners, leather toe stiffeners, and a full grain leather support system along its base that really provides a high quality shoe that should age well. Parkhurst offers high quality leathers similar to Grant Stone that differentiate it from other makers who may offer more pedestrian or mundane makers. You see a lot of kudu, you see boots out of wax flesh, you see a wide range of boot leathers from a variety of tanneries through Italy, as well as CF Stead, others that really offer a unique opportunity to own more distinguished leathers at a reasonable price point. So I got interested in Parkhurst because it is a boot brand that is available at a lower cost than many other boot brands that I happen to have interest in, such as the Pacific Northwest bootmakers. It also has a dressier DNA and last shape in many of its makeups, but Parkhurst last are more appealing to me, who's often in the workplace and wants to have a boot on that may go better with chinos or dress wear versus in that more heritage rugged style. And Parkhurst accomplishes that. They straddle the line really well between formal and rugged. And so to that end, let's jump in to my take on the Parkhurst Allen Stitchdown boot in Horween waxed flesh. You're not going to be disappointed. All right, here we see the Parkhurst box with the iconic Parkhurst emblem showing a buffalo with a P flag. And we're going to get the box top off. Packaging here is fairly austere. A card that says, thank you for your support, enjoy and wear well, and a custom signature from Andrew, who is the founder of Parkhurst. Andrew, second set of laces right here, and your boots, no boot bags, but what you're getting is a really beautiful makeup in a high quality Horween waxed flesh leather with thick leather. And while I don't have a measurement device, I certainly think that this is quite impressive. I believe the specs of this leather are available on the Parkhurst website for each boot. Let's take a deeper dive into these unique boots. This is the 618 last, which is a variation on their classic 602 and 602N lasts, which have become popular amongst boot enthusiasts and heritage footwear enthusiasts. But they've taken that last and, from my understanding, created a little bit wider profile along the ball of the foot and the midfoot region here. And they've shrunken and dropped this instep here to make it a little bit more form-fitting. From everything I've heard, this is a boot that's great for people with a V-shaped foot, meaning that their heel is narrow and they have a wider forefoot. So if you enjoy a more spacious toe box and a low to medium instep that is adjustable via the lacing here, you're going to enjoy this last. It has almost an almond-shaped profile here with that asymmetry. You can see there's a slight bump to the toe here, although it's very slight. And beyond that, we're getting a shoe that has 5 eyelets and 3 speed hooks. These are antique brass hooks. Dark brown Horween waxed flesh, which has a T-core, if you look closely here, you can see that this leather is not struck through, meaning that the pigments on the surface are not going all the way through the leather. And so as this leather wears, it's going to reveal a lighter undersurface and more of a texture. This is essentially a waxed rough out leather. Now there are a lot of various waxed leathers that have a rough out, such as the Mohawk waxed leathers, other leathers from CF Stead. Horween's waxed flesh has a thicker application of wax from what I can tell, so it's going to take a little longer to break in and reveal the undersurface nap that will poke through that wax over time. But if you want to restore the look of this shoe to this original quality, you can just reapply a coat of neutral wax or dark brown wax, and you're going to restore this look really rapidly. This leather feels rather thick, so it's not going to crease at all. From what I can tell, it should form nice rolls, which is a really appealing feature of waxed flesh. So this shoe does have a heel stiffener and toe stiffener. Those are both leather stiffeners, meaning that these will mold over time to the shape of your foot, and they're not made out of celastic. That offers a little less protection to the toe, so if you're taking the shoe into a more rugged workplace setting where you may drop heavy objects on your feet, there may be a little less protection, though I will say that this feels fairly robust in terms of stiffness. Some people will consider a shoe with leather stiffeners along the heel and toe to be semi-structured in nature. So call it what you may, but semi-structured or structured toe, these have leather stiffeners, leather midsole here, that is underlying this stitch-down construction. And you can see that there's a very nice and symmetric double row stitch-down construction. This is the first boot that I've gotten that has a 270-degree stitch-down construction where the double row of stitches carries through the entire 270 degrees of that leather application and fastening to the midsole here. Most stitch down boots that I've owned, or even Veltruin double row constructions, have essentially a double row to about 180 degrees to about here, and then a single row continuing along the waist. Andrew's chosen to use a double row stitch down construction. There is a nice contrast to the stitching and cleanliness to the pacing of the stitching, which is very well appreciated. I'm not sure if this is done by hand or done by machine in terms of the stitch down construction, but it is very evenly done and has a slight diagonal angulation to the stitches, particularly on the sides. Here's a view of the back of the shoe with this beautiful shape, asymmetric rounded heel cup shape, which should be really fantastic. And we didn't take a look earlier, but here's the heel block. Well done. Full grain. The back heel, I presume, is fastened by these nails and probably some cement to fasten the heel block, which is a leather heel block made out of essentially two pieces of full grain leather stacked one on top of each other, followed by this Parkhurst branded rubber sole, which I like. It has a grippy feel to it, but it doesn't feel too hard. Natural edge finishing, which I think complements this really dark brown, almost black colored Horween waxed flesh. I love how this leather is clicked and how the last is shaped to create unique lines. The lighting that I've used for this picture accentuates this diagonal line that you see through the shaft of the shoe here that continues down. I really love that design element. It gives a really sleek look that dresses up the shoe a little bit. One of the things I love about Parkhurst boots is how shapely their lasts are. There's a lot more organic, anatomic look to this last. It really should conform to your foot very well and roll in a manner that breaks in because of the semi-structured toe, as well as the choice of this thick Horween waxed flesh leather, and the rolls should conform and shape nicely to your foot. This boot is about 5 inches in height and has raw edges that adorn the top collar of the shoe. You don't see any rolling of that leather, which some people like and some people don't. I like a rolled edge, but totally fine with a raw leather edge. Here we have the leather laces along with the cloth laces that you have the option of using. If you look at the upper stitching, it's very cleanly done. I can't see any issues in the spacing of the stitching. Pretty good, maybe slightly lower stitch density to the stitching on the upper here, but everything's done really cleanly. And this is what appealed to me as somebody who's an enthusiast of higher end boots, is I was looking for clean construction, a unique and beautiful, well-fitting last. I was really interested in using Horween waxed flesh for my Stitchdown Thunderdome makeup, and this is going to be my Stitchdown Thunderdome boot for 2024. And yet I wanted to take a boot that I wouldn't feel too uncomfortable beating up, wearing down, really putting through its paces across all facets of my life to really make it useful for a patina and shoe aging contest. So give Parkhurst a try. Andrew, who runs the business, he is a US-based maker. He has wonderful ideas. He's very engaging in the community, and his boots are well worth the recognition. I paid nearly full price for these boots. I got a 10% discount, which he offers often to his subscribers. So take a look at his Instagram to follow along to see when those discounts come up, or just go ahead and buy that pair because it's well worth the full price, if not punching substantially above its weight class. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon, and goodbye.